Hey, what's up? We're back with more solo leveling. This is episode 8. Last week there was a recap episode. I didn't watch it. If there was anything in the recap episode that was like actually something important or something, then I don't know about it. But I doubt there was. Especially like when they named the episode 7.5. Normally when anime names their episode 0.5, that's a signifier of like, you don't need to watch this. Like, well, you can skip over this and you'll miss nothing. So I did not watch last week's episode because I don't want to watch recap episodes. What is the point of doing reaction videos to recap episodes? We're going to be jumping into episode 8. Since it's been 2 weeks, I've kind of forgotten where we were. I remember we fought Cerberus. Was that the last thing? I think so, right? So that was pretty badass. Let's see where we go from here. Make sure to support the video if you can, liking, commenting, and subscribing, and go to my Patreon account in the description below for full-length, early access, exclusive videos for both this channel and my Jent Watches One Piece channel. It's absolutely worth it. There's so much content over there, so go check it out. Let's jump into this episode, Solo Leveling Episode 8. Yeah, the elixir of life.
万病を治すアイテムどれもまだ手に入れられてないがどこにあるかは分かりきっている今の実力であの門をくぐるのは自殺行為に等しい強くならなければ
At least he has something to fight for now. Go reach out and get ya. Just go reach out and get ya. The headlines, the headlines.
ただし一つ条件がある
Let me kill everything.
君と俺二人で行く
Yeah, basically that's what he's saying.
ですが C 級ゲートに入るにはメンバーが少なくとも8人必要なんじゃ
That's like a rule, is it?
人数合わせを使うんだよファンドンソクの使ってた方法と同じだ
Just losers.
19回連続無事故の攻撃隊親父さんに実力を認めてもらう
そうしましょう
Okay, cool. I'm glad we're sticking with this guy. I like him. Like, I like him more than our protagonist. Because he's sweet. Speaking of people I like more than our protagonist, really haven't seen much of her, but every time I do see her, I'm in love. Now I feel like I need a stretch. I actually do kind of need a stretch. He's nervous. This is Papa?
そんな重要な資源を唯一こちらの世界に持ち帰ってくることができるのはダンジョンブレイクの対応も担っている。しかし教会はあくまでも公的機関に過ぎない。
What's this monologue about?
死神ギルド、明星ギルド、
Oh my god.
騎士団ギルドの国内5大ギルドは
Okay, I didn't write any of them down.
そんな状況を指を加えて眺めているわけにはいかない。
Okay, this is what the monologue is
まして
about.
や人々の生命線とも言える資源。
リスクが大きい。でも今の僕には
Okay, man. Look at that look. That didn't look like a fatherly look of love.
もう規定の回数以上はカウントされないか
Yeah, it was only for the secret quest.
以前のこの前のインスタンスダンジョンの鍵みたいなものが出てくる可能性もまだ
What is it? Is it gonna be a pen again? A bingo card.
だよなそうだペナルティーゾーンあそこであのムカデを相
Oh
手に
no, that sounds like a bad idea.
あの D 級ゲートへの招集
Okay, do it.
ハントとなると単独で戦うわけにもいかないな
It's better than nothing. You get some XP.
ないよりマシか
Yeah. Also, sometimes things just like pop up out of nowhere. You should always give it a shot.
全力の師範と立ち会いたかった
またそれだ。もう何ヶ月
Oh
も経
shit.
ったようなに。
Fighting with one arm, dude. Surprised you haven't.
確かにな。片腕を失った老いぼれなんぞ足手まといにしかならんかもな。
Not because you're useless,
そういうわけだ
but because it's
だが
might be
腕は失
traumatizing.
ったが拾った命だ。どうせなら世の中に貢献するために使いたい。
Okay, that makes sense. Aww.
ねえあなたそろそろハンターの仕事やめてくれない
Man, everyone's trying to get people to quit being a hunter.
そうよね ごめんなさい。
Don't be building up these characters to kill them, please.
気をつけてね。
He has a wife and 2 daughters.
愛してるぞ。なんだ？
パパって強いの？
一応共有しておいた方がいいかと思われる話ができましたので。
What is this?
それはもうご存知ならいらぬおせっかいでしたか。
Is that it? You just wanted to say
それ
that?
ぐらい知ってるのは分かっていただろう。回りくどいまない。本題は何だ？
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Your glasses.
最近連絡よこさへんけど。
Oh.
まあ
Someone help this girl.
帰ってきてうちの仕事手伝い。お父さんも心配して。
勝手に話進めんといてよ。
Jeez.
自分のことは自分で決めれるからほっといて。
ちょっと何あんた。
Has she got like a therapist that's helping her or something? I feel like she needs one.
足手まといか。
Yeah, that was uncalled for.
もうちょっと。
Oh, but she's being inspired by him. I hope that's a good thing and not a thing that will end up getting her killed. Ah, I'm so scared that all these characters are gonna die. Even though I barely know a lot of them. Oh, is she gonna be on that D rank guild? I mean, dungeon? Ah, just a respectful bow.
スカウトの方が来まして、そのご報告に。
ほう。
何でもギルドマスターとしてぜひうちに来てほしい。
Makes sense.
何を話されていたんですか？
None of your business.
あなたはジェジュ島についてどう思っていますか？
Jeju Island.
ジュ島？
第3次レイド以降、あの島は立ち入るこ
Is
と
that the
がで
island
き
with
ない。
the ants?
今はあの島のことあそこで起こったことを忘れたことはありません。そのためにも今あなた方に分裂されては
I
困る
feel
の
like
です
our main character is gonna have to get up to as strong as them and then help them with this
世
island.
論を動かす必要があります。あの島に忘れてきたものが
Something you left behind. Oh. Someone you left behind?
コンビニ行くんじゃないんだから。
His sister's so cute.
数十年間やってきた剣はダンジョンで何の役にも立たないが。
Well, you
剣
gotta
士で
do,
ある
don't
私が魔法
die.
系ハンターとして覚醒したのもまた君は
孫さん
Hey man,
まさかとは思ったが孫君じゃないか。
you're gonna be shocked when you see me in here.
それにしてもあのあどけない少年はどこに行ったんだ。
That's my question.
何も人は変わる
He's
ものな
not
のか。
sweet anymore.
それに
There, that was the first like sweet smile we've seen in a while though.
それよりも君が無事だとは教会員から聞いていたが、なんたる偶然あの日のメンバーが揃う。
Oi!
ジヌさん。
Give her a hug.
ユキさんそれにキムさんとカンさん
Don't care about these two.
だがこうしてまたあの惨劇を生き残った5人が集まったのだ。なら
This is nice.
ジヌさん。すごく見違えて。
はい。
背もすごく伸びてるし、足も。いや、
お見舞い
What? Who this?
こっちにも若い女がいるじゃねえ
What
か。
the?
そっちの兄ちゃんとできてんのか？
What the hell is going on here?
俺たちとも足
静かにしろ。
Whoa!
じゃないんだぞ。
This looks like Megami from
それでは一般ハンターの皆さんには説明を行いますので、こち代役服役者になります。
代役服役
a
者
substitute.
犯罪者と一緒に戦えというのですか。
ご理解ください。
なんてことだ。
That's
今回は
dangerous.
なんだか不安です。ジュキさんは参加を見送ってくださ
Aww.
ジヌさんは。
He doesn't want anything to happen
い。
to
俺は
her.
行きます。
Seriously, then I'm going to.
それなら私も行
Yeah,
きます
of。course.
お前らは服役囚だ。少しでも勝手な真似をしたらどうなるか分かってるだろうな。ハンター協会監視課の
Ken
カンテシ
Taishi.
クと申します。彼らは僕が責任を持って監視しますので、ご安心ください。
Okay, you look
本日
awesome.
のレードで
I love his
誰が先頭に
design.
立ちますか？
Kang's design.
孫君、あの日私のせいで7人も亡くなった。
Oh.
全員を君以外の5人を代表して言わせてくれ。心から感謝して。
Oh, this guy's a good guy.
そういうことですので、
he's
ダンジョン
inspecting
では
him.
私が先頭を務めます。
それでは行きましょう。
Shit's gonna go down in there. I like either the convicts or Kang Tae-shik is gonna do something. Oh man, shit is gonna go down, I feel like. That was a great episode. It was just a setup episode, but I was really engaged the entire time. I liked it. Like, I feel like, you know, some of the side stories, especially with the S-rank hunters and all of that, is clearly like they're setting up for stuff that I'm not, like, I'm following it, but I'm not fully following it. There's bits and pieces that I'm still like, I don't quite get what's happening there, but I feel like it's one of those plot lines that, like, by the time I get to the end of the season or next season or something, like, I'll start to be like, oh, I get what they were setting up now, and then eventually when I rewatch it, I'll understand everything that's going on. So that happens a lot with shows like this, like, especially when there's the main plot line is so, like, prominent in the show. Like, this show is so clearly about Jinwoo's, like, growth and his leveling up and such, that the other stuff is, like, very much, like, there are some shows where it's like the main plot is important, but there's also, like, these side plots that are, like, almost as important or equally important, and so, like, they get quite a bit of focus, and sometimes they'll get, like, major focus or whatever. But in this show, it feels like it knows that there's one main huge through line, and these other things are being introduced because they're eventually going to interact with this main storyline. That's what it feels like, at least. But anyway, man, this episode, like, felt like it was setting up possible death flags for a lot of these characters, which is scary. Because, like, I wouldn't be surprised if next episode or the episode after that was, like, a massacre episode. That would be scary, but it is certainly possible that it's just like, no, they're just, like, most of these people just get fucking slaughtered. Or, you know, it could be fine. It could be alright. I don't think it's going to go great. Especially since, like, they didn't set up the dungeon to be a threat, because it's like a D-rank dungeon, and he's like, fuck it, I'll just do it, who cares? So that makes me think the dungeon's not a threat. And if the dungeon isn't a threat, then who's gonna be the threat? It's gotta be the other people they're there with. So these criminals, look, here's what I'm thinking. Here's my initial predictions. Kang Tae-shik is such a cool looking character. He's so cool. He's so cool that I think that the idea of these convicts, like, being able to run wild and do what they want, like, if you wanted to do that storyline, you'd have the person who's in charge of them be a bit more meek, or be a little less interesting, so that you can either kill him off or do something like that, you know? But with this guy, he seems so cool that I'm kind of wondering if the convicts are a misdirect, and the convicts aren't going to be the actual problem. The actual problem is going to be Kang Tae-shik somehow. Like, maybe he is in charge of the convicts and he tells them to do shady shit. I don't know, he could do that. Or he's just like, fuck it, and kills the convicts and then tries to kill everyone else there or something. Because, like, just the way they were building him up, he was just cool. But what I hope is that instead he's just like a cool friend, and he helps us out, and we see how badass he is. That would be cool as well. So we got Joohee back, which I really love her. I want her to be going through healthy things. Like, right now I'm worried, like, she's going into this dungeon and she's, like, you know, trying to get through her PTSD and working through it by looking at what Jinwoo's doing, and, like, she's comparing herself to him, which she doesn't know it's a vastly different situation, because she thinks he's so weak, and look what he's like, look how he's brought himself up again, you know? And that's like a nice thing to think, but that's not what happened. He's he's actually incredibly strong now, and that's what's given him the confidence and stuff to go back in here. The fact that he has a magical, weird system helping him, healing him, giving him extra stats, giving him items, giving him incentives, all of that is what's actually helping him get through this. When Joohee doesn't have any of that. So she's showing a lot more bravery going in there. But she's doing it because she thinks that he's showing just as much bravery. And I'm nervous. I don't think they're gonna kill her off. Like, I think if you were gonna kill her off, you do it in that first few episodes, you know? Like, they built her up. I mean, they brought up their connection with one another, and then it was like, it seemed like they were definitely setting up for, and then everyone will die except him. But actually, a lot of them survived. Well, not a lot, but a few of them survived. And she was one of them that survived, which I wasn't expecting. So because she survived, I think now they're not going to kill her, at least for a while, if they do. Because, will it have more emotional impact now than it would back then? I don't think so. But it could, you know, like if they wanted to set up the threat of whoever we're going to come across now, that might be a possible way to do it and maybe inspire him. I don't know. I guess I fully don't know Jinwoo's intentions yet. Like, I mean, I know his intentions. I don't know his, how many actual feelings he still has in him. Because I'm kind of going with the idea that he's being, like, numbed a lot. His emotions are being numbed by things that are happening around him. But I guess I don't know that for sure. I'm kind of assuming that because of the way he's being animated and the way he's changed. I'm kind of extrapolating how I think the show will go rather than actually watching what's happening in front of me. So maybe that won't. I don't know. But anyway, it's cool. That's it for this episode. Make sure to support this video on this channel if you can, liking, commenting, and subscribing. And go to my Patreon account if you want full-length, early access, and exclusive videos. I will see you next time. Goodbye.